So let's come into our yoga posture. Sitting up nice and tall, get the ankles under the knees, shoulders over the hips. And just start to arrive on our mats, leaving whatever we've already done today outside, and just coming into this time, this space, this place. And perhaps gently close the eyes. And let's place one hand on our heart, one hand on our belly. So I find this a very grounding way to get connected with myself, with my center. And the breath is our gateway for transformation, moving into a calmer, more heart-centered way of being. And let's bring our hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. And I'd like to offer a prayer for all people who suffer from the imbalances that have been created by our lack of heart-centered living. For those who are spiritually sick and suffering, who've lost their way. May we use our light and our gifts to create a better world, a world of possibilities. And let's blink the eyes open. So this morning we're going to move for the first part of class, we're going to move in a very centered and yin fashion. So yin and yang are like the yin-yang symbol, where the darkness contains the light and the light contains the darkness. So we're going to stay in a yin posture this morning, and then we'll move to a little bit more active pose for the second half. For the first part, let's take the second chair. You can put it in front of you. And we're going to pick up the right leg and place it on the chair with the ankle supported by the blanket. So this should feel very comfortable. You've got a little support for the leg. And now we're simply going to hinge forward from the hips, and we're going to drape ourselves over that leg. And as you do this, you're going to start to feel a tug in the hamstring. As soon as you feel that point of resistance, I want you to stop and stay there. Even though you know you can go deeper, the point with yin is that we find the resistance, we stay there, and then the body will naturally allow us to go deeper. The body will tell you when it's ready to soften a little bit more. And you can place your hands wherever is comfortable for you. You can place them on the blanket, on your shin. I would also invite you to just scoop up the knee a little bit so that the knee of the straight leg is not locked out, that you have a little bend there. And then we're just going to come into stillness here for about 3 minutes. And just notice how gravity and the breath will take you deeper into the pose. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. Create some space between the teeth. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back. Relax the muscles in the face. And surrender. Nishvara Pranidhana. We surrender to the things we cannot change. If your mind is wandering, bring your focus to your breath. Part of the challenge of a yin practice is being in the stillness. And you can start to slowly make your way back up, taking your time, keeping your chin tucked to your chest. The head comes up last. And then you might use your hands to help your leg come off the chair. Bring that back down. And just sit for a few breaths and notice the difference between the right and the left side. We've already created some opening in the hip and the back of the right leg. So now let's go to the other side, picking up the left leg, placing it on top of the chair, on top of the blanket so that it's nice and comfy. Jean, do you want a blanket under you? No? Okay. Nice to see you. Glad you're back. And then softly fold over, just to feel that first point of resistance. And settle in here. You might close the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Relax the shoulders. Relax the face. If your leg is completely straight and the knee is locked out, just lift up your knee a little bit so you've got a little bend there. Find a comfortable place for your hands so you don't fidget during the rest of the pose. And let your mind rest on the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing gravity and the breath to take you deeper. And let's slowly make our way back up. Again, keeping the chin to the chest. Head comes up last. And you can use your hands to help that leg come off. And again, let's just sit and notice. Now we should feel a little more balanced on both sides. So one more yin pose, and then we'll move into a more active practice. So I'm going to move the chair a little bit closer. We're going to take the knees wide. So you have a couple of options here. I think you'll definitely want the blanket for this one. So we're going to come forward into forward fold. And this is to open the back of the body. Usually we do this, we just drape over the legs, but I wanted to keep the head a little bit elevated so we don't, potentially get dizzy. And this also allows us to get a little into the hips. Now you can keep your feet here. If you have the flexibility and you want to go a little deeper in the hips, you can take your feet back behind you and fall forward. So finding yourself a shape that you know you can maintain comfortably for 3 minutes, we begin. If your head reaches to the blanket, you can take your forehead all the way down, or maybe make a little pillow with your arms or your hands and rest your forehead there.
notice any tight spots, just sending the breath there. Imagining the breath sweeping that tightness away. And your body will let you know when it's time to go deeper. You can take your hands off the chair and let your hands dangle down by your side, down by your feet, if that's comfortable, if it doesn't put too much strain on your neck. And now, again, very slowly coming back up. The head comes up last. And we return to our upright alignment. And just sit for a few breaths. Noticing what's shifted already since we arrived on our mat. And let's blink the eyes open. Let's move this chair and blanket out of the way. We won't need that again. Take a sip of water. And let's have our tennis ball handy. All right. So sitting up nice and tall, let's take the tennis ball below the right foot. And we're just going to start just rolling it up and down, just getting the feel of the ball against the bottom of the foot. Just moving nice and slowly, mindfully. So again, that system of fascia that is our connective network of fascia to collagen tissue. Collagen fiber that holds the organs and muscles in place, and it starts at the top of the head and it runs through the body and it connects at the bottom of the feet. So this is a good way to start to loosen up the fascia. And then let's take the ball right under the ball of the big toe. So not below the toe, but below the ball of the toe. So you should start to get into that fleshy part of the toe, of the foot. And just press down. And you might move the ball slightly until you feel some sensation. So there's a spot where you feel like, oh yeah, that's a pressure point, that's a trigger point, right? Something's going on there. And we'll just hold that. And as you do, you might notice that sensation starts to subside. It might get more intense before it does subside. I like to spread my toes. And then move the ball to the center of the ball of the foot. So sort of between the two middle toes underneath that ridge line of the ball of the foot. And here you might relax the toes. And again, move the ball around a little bit, maybe roll it down a little bit until you feel that sensation. And breathing in and out through the nose. If you know your Ujjayi breath, that whisper breath, you can engage that. So that Ujjayi breath is the sound of the ocean makes when we constrict the back of the throat on the inhale and exhale. Sort of that Darth Vader breath. And then roll the ball over to the outer edge of the ball of the foot, right below the pinky toe. And again, find a spot where you feel something. And rest it there. Just relax the foot, but keep pressure on the ball. Spine nice and straight, lengthen the crown of the head. Lengthen the back of the neck, and relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Pull belly towards spine. And now I'm going to have to move the ball back a little bit to get it to the center of the foot. And we're just going to roll it back and forth. So there's a whole program, you might look this up if you're interested, it's called MELT, I forget what it stands for. But it's a whole program a woman developed for this myofascial release using different size balls on the feet. And there's training you can take to get certified, of course, but it's interesting. I mean, there's always different ways of accessing healing in the body, so I say, bring it on. All right, and now roll the ball to the heel. And just press down. And of course, in reflexology and acupuncture, you know, the feet have a lot of meridian points. So it's good to focus on the feet every once in a while too, you know, we're often up on the other end, right? Or my head is often not where my feet are, so this is a good exercise for me. All right, and then just roll the ball around, whatever feels good. Oh, this ball's getting away. Rein that ball in. And then just take the foot off the ball and just notice the difference. That right foot should feel a little more active and alive. And then let's take it to the other side. Just rolling it around, first of all, just getting acclimated to the feel of the ball below the foot. Let's not forget our posture, sitting upright. And then find that Place the ball right below the ball of the big toe mound. You can either spread the toes here if that feels good, or you can just relax the feet. You don't have to press very hard, but you should find a place where you feel some sensation. And this side might feel very different. I find it helpful to close the eyes here. And again, working with the breath. Deepening the inhale and the exhale. And then we'll move the ball over to the center, below the middle two toes. Noticing how the sensitivities on this side might be different than the other side. And then find the outer edge, the outermost point where you can be below the little toe mound and still feel the pressure on the bottom of the foot. And then let's move the ball to the center. I'm going to slide my foot back a little bit and roll the ball side to side. You might make a little circle, just massaging the center of the foot. And then we'll move to the heel, pressing down to the center of the heel. Maintaining that sort of, that very yin quality, that soft, restorative, more passive way of being. And then just massage it out one last time. Let's bring the ball to between the feet. So right between the arches. Bring the knees toward one another so the knees aren't flailing out. We're in alignment. And we're going to squeeze the ball, keeping the knees separated. Squeeze and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. And squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. And now I'm going to move my feet a little closer to me, so my heels are actually a little bit behind my knees. And we're going to lift the heels and down. Heels up and down. That's a good modification, Liz. Heels up and down. Up and down, squeezing the block. Up, down, up and down. And now we'll take the toes up. Toes up, squeeze the ball. And down. Toes up, squeeze, and down. toes up, squeeze, release, toes up, squeeze, release. And now let's alternate. Heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, and toes. All right, good job. Set the ball to the side. Take a sip of water. And let's start to move a little bit, linking our breath with movement. So sitting up nice and tall in our yoga alignment. Let's inhale the arms overhead. Inhaling through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float the arms down. One more. Inhale, reach up, pull belly towards spine, tailbone towards the chair. Flip the palms and release the arms down. This time let's reach the arms overhead. Take a hold of the left wrist with the right fingers. Reach the arm long and then over to the side. Holding here for a couple of breaths. So when we hold here, we have to engage the core. Pull your belly towards your spine as you try to keep your shoulders over your hips. Press down into the feet. Engage your core to come back to center. Inhale, release, and reach long. As you exhale over to the other side, take your side bend. So both sits bones should be in the chair, tailbone moving slightly toward the chair, navel towards spine, shoulders over hips, reaching up and over. And breathing. On your next inhale, we'll come back up to center, release the bind, and reach up as you inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward. Coming all the way down, chin to the chest, chest to thighs. Inhale, we come halfway up to a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms back, around and up overhead, pressing down into the feet so we lengthen in opposite directions. Root to rise and hands to prayer. Take one more like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, the arms go back, around and up. Using core strength, we reach up, tailbone towards chair, belly button towards spine, and exhale it down. Pick up your right knee with your hands interlaced either in front or underneath. Ankle circles, big circles. You're using that toe as your orienting point. So you're moving the toe in a biggest circumference as you can. And then other direction. And then we'll point and flex. Trying to get all the directions of the joints. And then to neutral position, we move the toe in and out. In and out. And now we interlace below the right thigh, bringing the knee in line with the hip. And we're going to lift and lower. I'm just going to keep the foot flexed the whole time. Lifting and lowering. Sitting up nice and tall. Lengthen the back of the neck. Bring the chin slightly in. Don't forget to breathe. And now bringing the knee to neutral, we're going to just circle. So I want you to think about stirring the pot with your foot. So you don't have to think about moving the knee joint. Think about moving the foot in a circle. Yeah, good job. And then other direction. And then we'll just swing side to side. And now for the hip, you can either keep your interlace underneath the thigh or shift to in front. And we're going to move that knee in a big circle. So I like to release one hand so that I can get a bigger range of motion. Nice job, everybody. Moving around. And other way. And now we're going to cross over, come into our figure 4. So either ankle across the thigh. If this is a challenge and not available to you, you're going to cross at the ankle and stay here. You're going to get the hip opening either way. So the idea is to have the knee falling open. If you're here, try to take your hand to the inside of the knee and encourage it to open. You'll feel the hip opening there. If you're here in your figure 4, flex your foot. Flex your right foot, sitting up nice and tall. And here too, you want to encourage that knee toward the floor. Everybody's hip flexibility is different, and it's also different usually on either side. So just be with what you've got. Breathe. And if you want to deepen the stretch here, hinge forward from the hip. Liz, you might want to put the chair there. That might help too.
Thank you so much.
Sit here, please, if you can.
Yep.
They say where there's a will, there's a way, right? And hinging a little deeper. From here, coming back up, if you've hinged forward, we're going to cross the right knee over the left. If your ankles are crossed, that's fine. Just hug everything toward the midline. So this is our eagle leg position. We ideally want to get the foot wrapped around the back of the leg, the standing leg or the front leg, but that's a big challenge. So what we want to think about is imagining we're bringing that foot behind so that we're pulling everything in, and really, Deb, you've got it, but bring your other foot toward the center. Yeah, so we want to have the hips both in alignment. There you go, beautiful. Nice job, everybody. Now, arms out wide, we're going to take our eagle arms. So left arm underneath, right arm on top. I'm going to cross up as high as I can so that I can either get the backs of the hands together. Now if I've got shoulder issues and this is way out of my range, I'm just going to take my fingertips to the shoulders. If I can do this comfortably, maybe I can bring the palms together. Now, thumb in front of your nose, so your shoulders are in alignment. Sit up nice and tall, pull belly towards spine. We're going to inhale, lift the elbows, arch up, lift the tailbone. And exhale, round in. You're going to pull your elbows down into your belly button and round the low back. Scoop out the belly. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. Here's where the breath can really help. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Reach the elbows higher. And exhale, round in. Pull belly towards spine, elbows toward the belly button. Scoop out the belly. Inhale back to neutral. And inhale as you unwind, uncross the legs, heel toe the feet wide, arms come out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Let's inhale the arms wide. And just take arms across and give yourself a hug. Try to wrap your fingers across and grab hold of your shoulder blades. And inhale, we'll open up. Whichever arm you had crossed on top that time, put the other arm on top. Exhale as you round and give yourself a big hug. Press down into the feet, active legs. And inhale, open wide. And we'll come back to neutral position. And pick up the left leg, hugging the knee in, either here or interlacing here, whichever feels better, and big ankle circles. I'm going to scoot to the edge of the chair, sliding back. All right, and again, think about the circumference of the circle that you're trying to create. Big, is that the circumference or the radius? I don't know. I didn't do very well in math.
Circumference is the outside.
Yeah, that's the outside, okay.
Yeah, the circle.
So yes, that is the circumference. All right, and then around. What's the radius?
Across
the middle.
the
Okay.
diameter is across the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Sorry, halfway across the middle.
Okay,
Look on the middle.
yeah. We're all good at something, but math is not my strong suit. All right, and then up and down. And then coming to neutral, let's go side to side. All right. And work the knee, interlace underneath, but bring the knee in line with the hip. And then we're just going to glide the foot up and down. So we're working the knee joint as well as the quad here. Good job. And then coming to neutral, just stir the pot with the foot. Making a circle with the foot. I find it easier to think about that than trying to move the knee in a circle. All right, and then just side to side. And now hugging the knee up, either way, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm going to open it up to one hand and get that big rotation in that big hip joint. Nice. And another direction. Try to keep the spine straight here. It's easy to start to slouch. And then we're going to come into our figure four, so whatever works for you. Ankles crossed, ankle across the top of the thigh. And you may be able to do this on one side and not the other. Like I said, both sides are different, every body is different. Check down, look and make sure your right ankle is below your right knee. Or if you started on the other side, just make sure you've got your alignment right. Left foot flexed, sit up nice and tall, lengthen the spine. Stay here, pressing the knee open. And to deepen, hinge forward. So this is similar to pigeon pose in a vinyasa practice. It's a good hip opener. The more you hinge forward, the more you're going to feel that in the left hip, in the outer hip. And stay with the breath. And if you've been hinging forward, come back up to straight spine. Heel toe the right foot in a little bit so that it's at the midline. Cross at the knees. Maybe double wrap. I think I can double wrap on this side. Nope, not today. Almost. If you can't double wrap, just keep thinking about those toes going behind. Oh yeah, there we are. All right. And sitting up nice and tall. So everything is pulling toward the midline. And left thigh is on top. Right arms are going to come out. And right arm will be on top as we come under. I'm sorry, other side, other way. Pull belly towards spine, lift the elbows. Exhale, lower. Nice, Janet. Right, if you can't interlace, just grab opposite elbows. Reaching up as you inhale. Reach up, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, look up. Elbows up. Exhale, round in. So these are our eagle crunches. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. As you exhale, pull belly towards spine and get out all the stale air. Now, last one, big inhale. Reach up, reach the elbows a little higher and a little higher. And exhale. Unwind. Take the feet wide, take the arms wide as you inhale. Exhale, let's take the right forearm to the right thigh and take a side bend. Side angle. Think about reaching up and over. Inhale, arms come wide, back to a T. Thumbs reach back. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches up, we get length. Imagine you're pulling your torso out of your hip socket and then slide it over. And inhale, back to center. And take that one more time, inhale. As you exhale, side angle. Now, if you want to try going deeper, take your right arm, slide it down the inside of the calf, and then come into stacking the shoulder, so almost a triangle position. Reaching long, reaching in opposite directions. Use your core strength to come back to center as you inhale. Arms go wide, thumbs reach back. And exhale, other side. Either take your side angle here, or start to slide the left arm down the inside and reach the right arm long. So stacking shoulders. You're pressing that left arm against the inside of the thigh, but you're resisting, so we're not letting that knee wing open. Inhale, back to center. Arms go wide. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Palms touch. Hands to prayer. And heel toe the feet in. My goodness, I lost track of time. It's 9:50. All right, my friends. Well, if you have to run, I understand.
If you can stay, let's skip meditation and we'll go right to Shavasana. We worked pretty hard today, so you can meditate and Shavasana at the same time. So come into your relaxation pose. I'm sure that'll feel good after that last pretty rigorous set. So just total relaxation. Maybe arms down by your side. Let's place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And we ground ourselves. And let's make our way back to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed, bringing hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, our prayer position. And let's remember our intention for today. Let's try to be heart-centered people today, living in service of the greater good. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. May all beings live with ease. We bring thumbs to third eye center and bow to one another as we say Namaste. Namaste, my friends. Thank you. Bow to your fellow yogis. Thank you, thank you.